Hello, everyone. Welcome to my first ever gameplay walkthrough videos that I'll be doing for you guys. Um, this is all very new to me. I usually play a lot of games, but I don't really record them and do live commentary as I play those games. But hey, what the hell? I thought about doing something new, and here we are. So I'm gonna start off with one of my most favorite games I've ever played, and this game is called Dark Souls Remastered. So a brief history before I get started. Um, so I was originally a fan of Demon Souls. I never actually got to play the game because I didn't have PS3 back then. But I saw the gameplay on YouTube, and it really fascinated my interest. That wow, it's not only just an RPG game; it's an action RPG game as well as a very difficult and challenging game, but also rewarding at the same time. Um, and I wanted to play it. Unfortunately, I couldn't. But as time passed on, I saw Dark Souls. The next quote unquote sequel, not sequel, spiritual successor. And I thought about, yeah, I want to play this game now. Unfortunately, same thing. It didn't come to PC at the moment, at that time. But that game was something else. When I first saw that, I was like, wow, okay, this game, I need to play it for everything. Because I like games with high fantasy settings, medieval, high fantasy, lots of demons and monsters and challenging boss fights and all that, right? As well as having the freedom to play the game the way you want to. That's basically how Dark Souls was. Uh, but since it didn't come to PC, I was a bit sad that uh, should have come to PC. So a lot of people made petitions to bring it to PC. I also signed that um, during that time. Fortunately, uh, that was in what 2013, I believe, when it first came to PC, and that's when I had the chance to actually get my hands on the game. And I played that game to completion multiple times even. It had some issues, the PC version, and a modder named Durante used his mod called DS Fix to improve the game drastically, like unlocking frame rates, improving the visuals, like tweaking the control settings and all that, whole bunch of things. Uh, so that was back then. And here we are with the remastered version that was released years down the line by the developers. And a lot of the issues that were present in the original version has now been fixed, right? So that's the version I'm going to be playing for you guys today, um, or tonight, depending on where you're watching from. For me, it's tonight. It's a night time. Um, Now the format I'm going to be playing and uploading is probably I'll upload one video per day, and it's going to be around 1 hour, something like that. It could be a bit longer than that, depending on what I'm doing, if I'm currently engaged in a boss fight or something like that. But I'll try to stick to a 1 hour schedule and release that video on a daily basis. And so you can enjoy it. And I'll do commentary about what I'm doing as well. For the newcomers who haven't played the game yet, so you'll get, as I play the game, you'll probably get more familiarized with the whole structure of the game and all that. So hopefully you'll enjoy it. Let's see if I need to do any last minute tweaking before I actually get started, right? Sound settings are good. Nothing to complain here. Key bindings are fine. I'm also playing with keyboard and mouse and not controller. Yeah, I'm weird like that because uh, I'm more accustomed to playing this game in particular, this Dark Souls series in particular, with keyboard and mouse and not actually with controller. Don't ask me why. It's just how I am. So yeah, let's get started. All right, so I'm gonna start my name, Grim Reaper. Right, sex is male. Class. I'll use the warrior class for now. There are different types of classes and all that. So, just to give you a brief description, the starting classes that you select, those will just affect your stats, your statistics, right? Like the vitality, that's your hit point, like the amount of damage you can take before falling in battle. Attunement is the amount of the higher the attunement you have, the more magical spells you can slot before not being able to do that. So that's that. That's sort of like magic builds. Endurance is your that was your stamina, I believe. Strength is your strength. Dexterity is your dexterity. Strength is like, you know, your sword kind of weapon, swords, clubs, heavy weapons basically. The more strength you have, the heavier the weapon you can use in battle. Dexterity is the different kinds of weapons like pole arms, halberds, katanas, like, you know, precise weapons. You can use the higher dexterity you have, the better you can use them in battle. Resistance, not that necessarily a stat. It's just you use them just to, you know, have more resistant, to be more resistant to damage from the enemy attacks. Not that necessary in this game in particular. Intelligence and faith are for magic users, so the magical spells you're going to be using, the higher the intelligence and higher the faith you have, the more types of spells from intelligence build and faith build spells you'll be able to use. Humanity is the one that's a bit interesting. So this game has, well, I'll talk about humanity a bit later. Okay, so for now I'm gonna choose the warrior class, and there are other classes as well you can pick. Deprived is the most extreme class. Every stat starts with 11, and then you can like tweak yourself based on what you're gonna pick from there, but I'm not gonna go there. I'm just gonna start with warrior. Gift, there are different kinds of gifts. Some of these items you can find in the game itself. So the one I'm going to be using is master key. Well, I can actually use pendant, because you can find the master key in another location. I'll just go with the pendant for now, because this item, it will be necessary at some location, with certain NPC. We'll talk about that later. Physics, I would go with. Oh no, not that. Yeah, this one looks good. Face. Let's not take that. I'll just go with the common. Hair. Curly. No, let's just go with receding, I guess. And the hair color. Silver hair, I guess. Okay. Let's just get started. Here we go.
In the age of ancients, the world was unformed, shrouded by fog. A land of grey crags, arch trees, and everlasting dragons. But then there was fire, and with fire came disparity. Heat and cold, life and death, and of course, light and dark. Then from the dark they came and found the souls of lords within the flame. Nito, the first of the dead. The Witch of Izalith and her daughters of Chaos. Gwyn, the Lord of Sunlight, and his faithful knights. And the furtive pygmy, so easily forgotten. With the strength of lords, they challenged the dragons. Gwyn's mighty bolts peeled apart their stone scales. The witches weaved great firestorms. Nito unleashed a miasma of death and disease. And Seath the Scaleless betrayed his own, and the dragons were no more. But soon the flames will fade, and only dark will remain. Even now, there are only embers, and man sees not light, but only endless nights. And amongst the living are seen carriers of the accursed dark sign. Yes, indeed. The dark sign brands the undead. And in this land, the undead are corralled and led to the north. Where they are locked away to await the end of the world. This is your fate.
Right. Welcome to Dark Souls. All right. So before we get started, let me tweak the volume just a little bit. All right. So to give you a little bit of backstory of what you just saw in the cutscene. So what they said about the game is that in the beginning, before the age of light and the age of darkness, it was the age of gray. And the shadow here, I'll explain to you. This is an actual player. because we're playing in online. So you can see their shadows, their outlines of what they're doing. Okay, so there was in the beginning the age of gray, where no light, no darkness, just in the middle. And the dragons slumbered, the dragons ruled the world. But somehow, at a certain point, those souls, those dark souls, and the other souls came to being, and the four great beings got hold of those souls to shape the world into their favor, into making their own kingdom and all that. So they, in order to do that, they had to defeat the dragons, wage war with the dragons, and all that, so they can rule the world. And that's what they did. They all formed together as allies and defeated the dragon. And one of their own dragon kings, Seath the Scaleless, betrayed his own kind in order to gain some power and side with the oppressors, the usurpers, basically. So that's basically it. However, as with everything, the power of Dark Souls were too great. It overcame all the other souls that were given. So I believe the pygmy who got the soul, that was a Dark Soul, and it's significant in the sense that this Dark Souls that they're talking about, it represents us humans, that we humans are the Dark Souls, because we have a dark desire, our ambitions are corrupted. So all the negative traits that are associated with humans, that's what this game represents, that we are the dark, we are undead. So the face that we saw in the beginning, we don't have that face because we are undead. The dark sign branded humans, and when they die, they become undead. They don't really die; they just resurrect themselves as undead people. And one of the lords who conquered this world, Gwyn, he fears the dark. He fears the dark soul. He fears that one day the whole of dark will consume the world and conquer everything and everyone and consume them all. So in order to contain the dark and contain all this plague and the blight and the this undead people who have turned from human to undead, they are locking them away in this dungeon or prison so that we cannot escape and stuff like that. But we are the chosen one, as it seems, and we're supposed to break out of this prison, journey towards this world called Lordran, and possibly do certain things to unite and reverse the dark that's already plaguing this world, and see what we can do. So this is where your journey begins, and this is where we'll be dying a lot. You'll see me getting killed and slaughtered and destroyed on many occasions. I'll try my best not to die a lot, since I've already played this game before, but still, it was quite a long time ago. Hopefully I still remember all the tricks and tips that I had implemented in my first time playing the game. So now we have this dungeon cell key, and I'm going to be using this to open the door. But before I actually get started, let me familiarize with you with some of the things that you're seeing here. So on the top left, the red bar that you're seeing, that's my health bar. So whenever I'm taking damage, this red bar will deplete slowly. If it depletes all the way to 0, I'll die, and I'll have to respawn back to the last place I rested. The green bar here is my stamina bar. So whenever I'm attacking, right, whenever I'm dodging, rolling and stuff like that, that stamina bar will deplete. If it completely depletes, I won't be able to take any action. I won't be able to swing my weapon and stuff like that, and so on. These messages here at the ground that you're seeing here, these are both player written message as well as actual message from the developers, where they'll just guide you just a little bit to show you the control, that which button will make you swing the sword, which button will make you run and jump and so on. and how you can interact with with the environment and stuff like that. So here, for example, I'm pressing R to read the message, and it's gonna say, I can take this. So this is the player message, and it has a rating of 45. So I can just rate this message up or down, good or bad. So if I'm rating it plus, that means that it's a good message. I'm gonna praise that message, and what will end up doing is that since we're playing this game online, there is an online aspect in the game where if you encounter, like, let's say you're in this game and playing the game normally, sometimes actual players can invade your world and try to kill you. That's a PvP, player versus player element. So if you manage to kill them before they kill you, you'll get some bonus rewards. However, if they manage to kill you, you'll die, obviously. They'll get some rewards for killing you, and you'll reset to the last known checkpoint or bonfire that you have rested. So that's how it works. You can also help or call for help from other players to certain areas in the game where, let's say, the area is too difficult, the enemies are too overwhelming for you, or the boss is really challenging, right? In those scenarios, you can call for help from other players. These signs that you're seeing here, you'll see similar signs in yellow, where when you interact with those signs, you'll be able to call for help from them. And conversely, you can also drop your own summon sign, and then the other players can call you for their help. So if you manage to successfully beat a boss or beat a level as the summon player, you'll get rewarded for it. So that's how the co-op system works. I'll show that to you in detail when the time comes. Okay, for now, let's just play the game, and I'll talk you through the whole process as we keep playing. There's a lot of mechanics in the game that needs to be talked about as we keep playing. The game is massive. It's very in-depth with lots of tiny little detail that goes into this game. The developer and the director, Hidetaka Miyazaki, is a master. He's genius. The way he made this game, absolutely excellent. So, yeah. Oh, and if you, speaking of that, if you rate it good, this message, I mean, whoever wrote this message, they'll get a boost in their life, in their health bar. So let's say you took some damage from taking enemy attacks. If you manage to rate this message good, if that player is online playing the game right now, by rating this message positively, they'll gain some of their health point back. That's how it works. So I can also drop a message on my own. So if I think I can do that, or can I not? Oh, I think I need a like a soapstone or something to write the message. I guess so. Yeah. All right. We'll do that later. For now, let's just get started. So now I'm just out of my prison, and I'm gonna explore the areas. So camera control with my mouse. That's the developer message. Gonna keep moving forward. Attack with the left mouse button. I'm using C to toggle camera lock. So when you're having a camera lock, so if you don't have a camera lock, it's just gonna swing randomly. You can swing here, you can swing there. But with the camera lock in place, right? No matter where you're looking at, the center of attack, the center target will be this character, this enemy here. Well, this is an enemy, but I'm just gonna kill it anyways. Or not. Let's try to kill this character here. There we go. And on the right bottom side, you can see that I gained 20. So that's 20 souls. Soul is the currency you use for anything. To buy a weapon, to repair a weapon, to level up your character, to upgrade the character, for anything. Conversely, if you die to an enemy, the soul that you possess, it will be lost, and the point where you die, you'll have only one chance to collect that soul back. So let's say you die here, you'll be respawned back to, let's say, here. Just give you an example. So if you are unable to collect the souls here and die somewhere around here, the soul will be lost forever. So you'll only have one chance to get those souls back. Okay, so it's very important that you do not lose your souls, or that you have to be very careful while managing, your resources and stuff. But yeah. So that's my dash, so you can run in the game and all. One of the things that you can see as I'm rolling, there's a roll mechanism here where you can roll fast, medium, or slow roll. So what we call fat roll. This is called fat rolling. What I mean by that is that your roll speed will be very slow, right? One of the mechanics here is that the rolling comes in handy a lot. Okay, more than anything else, you're gonna be blocking your enemy, the enemy attacks, but that's not always the case. You can't always just block and keep blocking, because your stamina will go down really fast. So that's where the roll comes in. So this fat rolling is not as effective because there's a certain animation during this roll where you're invincible. You're invulnerable from taking enemy damage. If you time this roll perfectly, whatever damage, in general, I'm not talking about any special kind of enemy attacks, general enemy attacks, if you dodged it correctly, the iframe, we call it iframe, it's stand for invincibility frame or invulnerability frame. But that frame will save you from taking any damage, right? So with this fat rolling, that timing, that iframe will be much lower than if you are rolling faster. So how it works is that the more equipment you wear, the more weight you'll gain from that equipment, and it's gonna wear you down, right? And you only have a set amount of weight you can take unless you level up your character, your character's endurance, right? So this is the part where your endurance comes into play. The higher the endurance you have, the more stamina you'll have, and the more equipment you'll be able to, the heavier equipment you'll be able to wear without getting over encumbered or fat rolling. Okay, so just to give you an example of that. So here, this equipment load here, you can see my maximum equipment load is 52. Let's say it's 52 kg or pound if you want to like go there. But current weight is 17.4, and the total weight I can have before becoming over encumbered is 52. If I am over that limit, I won't be able to run. I'll basically just be slow walking unless I remove those equipments. Okay. And the way it works is that I need to be below a certain weight limit in order to roll faster. So right now I'm slow rolling, fat rolling I mean. So I need to remove some of the equipments I have with me. So for example, I'll start by removing the helmet. Wait, how do I remove that? Let's get back. Yeah, unequipped item, that's F. So let's see if it works. See, I'm already rolling a lot faster. Yeah. Now just to give you another demonstration, let's say I remove all my equipments. Let's see what happens now. So I look ugly as fuck, but see, I'm rolling much faster, and I'll have more iframes as I'm rolling, right? So I'm more agile, I'm more versatile. I know I can move around much faster than before, but I don't need to unequip everything because I need some protection from enemy attacks, because like without any armor, I'm gonna be taking the full force of the damage. Okay, and each armor piece will give you a certain set of resistance and armor bonus against enemy attack. So if I'm not wearing any armor, I'll be taking full force of the enemy attack, right? Obviously. But let's say if I'm like a bit more cautious and I wear more armor, the better that armor stat is, the less damage I'll take in turn. Okay. Now on the right side you can see this humongous monstrosity that's pacing back and forth. That's one of the prison guards, the prison guard demons that's guarding this area here. So to prevent people from escaping. We'll be fighting this guy a bit later. But for now, let's just move on to the rest of the part of this prison area. Try heal. I'm just gonna rate it up. If I want to be a nice guy and help the other peoples in need. Target lock and release. Let's see. See this shadow here. This is an actual person that's playing the game. So that's one of the interactive experiences that not only will you be able to meet actual players in the game, be it via invaders, the enemy, or friendly NPCs or friendly actual people trying to help you. You'll also see them at certain points where they'll be playing the game with you, and you'll see their outlines that they're journeying this game with you at their own pace. So just a screenshot of that moment. So I'm not gonna kill this guy because he's just chilling, he's vibing and all that. I don't wanna disturb his peace, so just gonna move on. All right, gonna go up this ladder here and see where we can go. Right. Rested bonfire that recovers HP. Okay. So this is like one of those areas where you can rest, and by resting here at this bonfire, you will be recovering your health point, the vitality. I mean, the red bar that you're seeing on the top left. You'll be recovering that. So I'm gonna do that, even though I have full health. But this bonfire here will also act as a checkpoint, right? So if you die at any point after this point, you'll be back here. You'll be respawned back here, and you can start the game from there. However, every time you rest at the bonfire, all the enemies around you that you have killed in this area, they will respawn back. Like even if you kill them, they'll all respawn back to where they were. Now that's kind of a bummer. I know for the newcomers who haven't played the game, you feel like I've just killed everyone, but my life is low. I need to rest to get my life back. But of course, the enemies will also respawn back. So that's just part of the game, the way the game mechanic works. There are some exceptions. There are some special enemies as well as bosses. If you kill them and then rest at the bonfire, those enemies will not respawn back. That's the exception. Normal enemies will respawn, but the special enemies in that area and the bosses themselves, of course, they won't respawn back. Okay, so that's the thing. All right, so that's the thing about bonfire. You can also rest at the bonfire and level up your character here, right? So that will come in later. I only have 40 souls for the moment, so I won't be able to do any kinds of level up at the moment. But in any case, let's move forward and to our first boss, which I'm not gonna fight. So if you look up here, you can see the outline of that. See the top? Yeah, that guy right there. So we'll be fighting this guy in a little bit. That door at the far end, that's our escape route. But I have to fight this guy first and kill him. So one of the thing is that if you're new, I only have a broken sword. On my right hand, you can see I have a broken sword. It's not gonna do much damage against this big guy here. So what I'm gonna do is just run and circle myself to the left side with just a doorway there, right there, and just escape as fast as I can. I'm gonna fight this guy at this point. But yeah, you can see here. Boom. And I'm out. So the newcomers here will try to fight this guy as it is with this broken sword, and they'll get destroyed because this guy does a lot of damage for newcomers. Because you don't have a lot of HP in play, and you're not leveled up, and you have a broken sword, so you won't be able to do anything much. There are some challenge runs where people do, in fact, manage to kill this guy as it is, as their current character. I'm not gonna go for that route for now. Okay, maybe later, someday. Alright, so I'm gonna light this next bonfire here. So if I'm resting here, I'll be respawning at this location. So that's the important thing. You must rest in Dark Souls 1. You must rest at the bonfire in order to register this checkpoint here. So if you die, if you sit and rest, then only then you'll be able to respawn back here. Some people make the mistake that they only light the bonfire, but they do not rest. If you do not rest, you won't be back to this bonfire. You'll be back to that first bonfire where I rested. So for the newcomers here, do remember to rest and not just light the bonfire in order to register that checkpoint. Alright, so there's another guy here who's doing some walking here, pacing left and right. Get my shield. My shield's on my left side right there. There's an archer on the back, so I'm not gonna deal with him right now. I have a heater shield, so I'm gonna equip my heater shield. And how to do that is to go through this menu here, browse and use menu. Sorry, this menu here. Change equipment, and from here I can see on my shield tab you can equip 2 swords and 2 shields at the same time, and you can interswitch them at will. However, the more equipment you wear, the heavier your equip load will be, and the slower you'll become. So I don't want to slow myself down. I want to, keep my mobility, not fat roll as much as I can, because fat rolling is bad in this game, really. So let's see if I'm fat rolling here. Nope, I'm still good. So this is my shield. I can block, and this is going to basically mitigate all the damage I take from the enemy fire, so just to give you some demonstration. So I'm holding my shield. Oh, and he ran away. Of course he did. Alright. I'm gonna get my long sword here to change my broken sword into a long sword, because why not? Let's see. Where is he? There we go. So yeah, I'm just gonna block. As you can see, it blocked all the damage from that arrow. And now I'm gonna hit him. And he's dead. Just like that. Oh god, okay, scared me for a second. Alright, so how the shield works is like so. Let me see here. Okay, so there's a lot of stats in this game, okay? So I'm just not gonna bother with everything. I'm just gonna give you some critical details that are relevant to the game. So the newcomers here, you can understand what you're looking at. Okay, so for the shield, let's go with the shield first. So this is the stats for the shield, and this is called damage DMG reduction. That's damage reduction percentage. So physical damage 100. That means that this shield will be blocking 100% of physical damage, right? So physical damage by me, I mean that arrows, any kinds of weapon swinging, from general enemies and all, this will block it. Magic damage, it will reduce by 30% if you block it. Fire damage, 70% block. Lightning damage is 50%, and the stability is 55. So stability is basically where the higher the stability of a shield is, the less stamina it will consume, and the less uh, like the flinching you'll be doing with the shield. Like sometimes they'll be hitting you so hard that your stamina will break, and your all the stamina that you have that will instantly just go away. It will deplete, and you'll be staggered for a bit. So if you have a higher stability, that won't happen. Okay. And you'll have more posture while guarding yourself from enemy fire. Requirement perimeter, that's REQ param. So that's required perimeter. This is strength, this one is dexterity, this one is intelligence, and this one is faith. So in order to equip this shield, I will need 8 strength. Okay, but now I have, if you can see, this is my stats of my character, Grim Reaper. I have 13 strength, required is 8, so I'm already over that requirement. Okay, so I can equip that shield without any problem. If I don't meet that requirement, I won't be able to use the shield, and even if I do use it, I won't be able to get the full benefit of the shield. Okay, or the sword or anything else. So that's the stats you have to meet to in order to use a shield, or conversely a weapons, things like that. This durability here is the shields or items durability, basically. The more you use it, the more it will decay, and if you take it down to 0, the equipment or the weapon that you're using will break. So you can repair them by visiting a blacksmith. If, let's say, it's 250 by 250, so the durability is perfect now. Again, you have full durability. If the durability goes down to, like, let's say 50 out of 250, it's almost gonna break then, and you have to take it to a blacksmith to repair it, to bring it back to full functionality. So the less durability you have, your stats, or your overall stats of this shield will go down more and more. Okay, so it's you have to keep an eye out on your equipment and see if it's gonna break or not, and see the durability of that. Weight, self-explanatory. It's just 2 weight, let's say 2 kg or pound or whatever. I'll just select this sword here to give you an idea of this one, this side here. This side is the requirement side. This side is the requirement side. This side is the bonus side, but let's go with this one first. So this one is the longsword here I'm using. This attack type is regular attack and thrust attack. So this is a longsword, so they'll be doing a regular attack and thrust attack. So some enemies are vulnerable to certain types of attack. So if you use those kinds of weapons against them, you'll be doing more damage to them. Okay. So attack type is regular and thrust attack, and weapon type is a straight sword. Okay. And this itself is called the longsword. The attack of this sword, physical, is 80 damage. This plus 12 here on the right that you see, you get bonus damage from your overall stats of the character that you have. So this is the strength with this perimeter bonus of C, and this is the dexterity also with the perimeter bonus of C. So what do I mean by that is that this game will give you extra bonus damage based on your character's strength and dexterity. So I have 13 strength and 13 dexterity, and this weapon will scale at C rating based on my strength and dexterity. So the higher strength I have and the higher dexterity I have, the more bonus damage I will receive from using the shield, using this sword. So the perimeter bonus can go all the way from E to S. So S is the highest, E is the lowest. So S, if this weapon has a S scaling, that will scale the damage the most. So if you have like 13 strength and the strength perimeter bonus is S, instead of getting 12, I'll probably gonna get 20. with the same amount of strength. Because the higher the bonus, the more extra damage you'll be doing to the enemy. So that's that. This weapon doesn't have any magic damage or fire damage or lightning damage. It's just a straight up physical damage. Okay. The critical 100 is just the critical damage. So sometimes you'll be doing some extra damage depending on where you swing and stuff like that. It's 100. That's the base mark figure when you're trying to use that weapon here. Sometimes it can go higher depending on the weapon you're using. So after a certain amount of swing, if the crit damage is more than 100 or more, you'll be doing a lot more damage to the enemy. Okay. Auxiliary effect, these are like, I think this is like a white damage, this is the dark damage, poison damage, and this is I forgot which one is that. Let me see if I can bring it up. Auxiliary effect. Okay, bleeding. Okay, right. Bleeding, poison, divine, and occult. So, so this is the bleeding. This is the poison. This is the divine, and this is the occult. So divine damage can be applied to undead warriors or undead enemies, and occult will go for divine kinds of enemies, like the pure beings, angels, and stuff like that. They don't have any angels here, but just giving you an idea. All right, I guess that's about it. Anything else? Okay, this is a parry. So other than the shield blocking, you can also parry the enemies. Because okay, I'll just show you how it works. So if you parry the enemy, a successful parry can basically give you extra damage. Like there's a thing called backstabbing enemies. So like if you go behind the enemies and backstab, it's gonna do a lot of damage, critical damage. Same goes for parry. Doing the backstab is from behind. If you parry the enemy, you can do a front stab or it's not a front stab. It's like a ricochet or like a riposte. I forgot the name actually. And you can do like a really damaging attack from the front side as well. Okay. Well, this is the backstab and the roll. Just telling me what to do, stuff like that. Am I fat trolling? Am I fat trolling? Let me see. It's hard to tell. No, I'm not fat trolling. I'm fine as it is. Let's see if there's something on this side here. There's an item upstairs, but I'm not able to reach it at this point in time. I'll have to go back to this area later down the line to collect this. But for now, let's just explore this side of the area, see if there's anything here. There's nothing here. The level design of this game is awesome. I'm just gonna tell you that straight up. The way everything just interconnects and just swirls around. Like for example, you can see I was back there, down there, with the bonfire, and I climbed up, opened that door, and just moved all the way from there. Now we're here, and you're gonna see that's on the right side. You can see there's like a red, there's a red cage there, the cage door there. You can see now that I will be able to go down the staircases, open this cage door here, and now we are back at this location, as you can see. So the levels do interconnect very beautifully, very neatly together, so it feels more immersed as a whole. Okay. Now, since I've played this game before, I'm not gonna be fooled by this trap here. There's like a iron ball there that's gonna be rolled down on my face. This guy here already got smashed by it. I'm not gonna be so idiot about doing this. I'm gonna just move out of the way, and it's gonna smash through this wall here, this hidden area. And there's this NPC here, our first NPC. Let's talk to him. He looks like he's injured, maybe fell down from up there. It's probably the same guy that helped us in the first place. Remember that he dropped a corpse and they had a prison door key, right? So this is the guy, I think. And his name is Astor or something. Anyway, let's talk to him, see what he says.
Oh, you. You're no hollow. Thank goodness. I'm done for, I'm afraid. I'll die soon, then lose my sanity. I wish to ask something of you. You and I, we're both undead. Hear me out, will you?
Sure. He's an undead as well, and so am I. So I'm just gonna hear what he has to say. His last dying wish, I guess, so to speak.
Regrettably, I have failed in my mission, but perhaps you can keep the torch lit. There is an old saying in my family: "Thou who art undead art chosen, and thine exodus from the undead asylum maketh pilgrimage to the land of ancient lords. When thou ringeth the bell of awakening, the fate of the undead thou shalt know." Well, now you know, and I can die with hope in my heart. Oh, one more thing. Here, take this. An Estus flask, an undead favorite.
Right. You gave me an Estus flask, but let's talk about that a bit later. Let's continue with this conversation first.
Oh, and this. Now I must bid farewell. I would hate to harm you after death. So go now, and thank you.
Right. So use item. All right. So this guy, he gave me some items as well as giving me some information. But let's. Still there. Okay. Let me just. So he basically killed himself. So what he said, he's an undead, right? He was branded with the dark sign because the way the world works with the whole light and dark, and the dark spreading everywhere, branding people, and it's like a curse, so to speak. So whenever he dies, whenever I die, when you die enough times, you're gonna become crazy. You're gonna become hollow. So when you become hollow, you lose your sanity, you lose your humanity, you lose your ability to think for yourself, and you're just gonna be a mindless corpse running around killing anyone and everyone in sight. So that's what the hollow is basically. These people that you see here, the people that I've killed, those are the hollows, and they have basically lost themselves. They were human once probably, but they are now lost because they just died so many times over and over and over again. They just lost their sanity. So that's what he said, that before he died, he said that the undead are chosen, that you have to escape this prison, and that you have to ring the bell of awakening, two of them at different locations. If you do that, the fate of the undead shall be revealed to you. So the fate of the undead, that means I here, I'm the chosen one, and I have this duty to just escape this prison and ring this bell of awakening and see where my journey takes me, to lift possibly this curse of undead for all of us, so that I can save the human race and so on, and save the entire world, conversely speaking. Hopefully, that's my interpretation is, because this game is not set in stone in terms of story. You can actually come up with your own interpretation of what you think is happening in this game, because they won't tell you explicitly that this is the story, this is the lore, this is what's going on, now go on out there and do this and that. You have to find the meaning of this game yourself, and that's the interesting part. You're like let's say a historian, just dropped in the middle of this ancient land, full of activities, full of chaos, full of all those things that's happening around you, and you have to find the answers for yourself. You have to look around the environment, look around everything around you, even the items that you're using, right? They have a description that goes with those items that you can read, and you can figure out that what these items are saying. So some special items will tell you that this item belongs to this person, or this item has been used on this area by this hero or villain and stuff like that. And you'll get a general idea and a better understanding of what happened in certain areas and in this whole world as a whole. So that's what the beauty of this game is, that you have to explore yourself and see where it takes you. Okay. So this sword here, is telling you the description that widely used straight sword, standard straight sword, only matched in ubiquity by the short sword. An accessible sword which inflicts consistent regular damage and high slash damage, making it applicable to a variety of situations. Okay, and this hero shield here is that says small metal shield, a standard widely used shield. This shield is easy to use and is one of the smallest shield that offers 100% physical damage reduction. So by reading this description, even if you don't know the stats of what the shield does, how much physical damage it reduces when you're blocking, by reading this description here, you can like get a general idea what is the shield doing for you, right? So every kinds of item will have this unique description that will tell you something about the item itself. So that's what it is. Now this thing he gave, the Estus flask, right? This yellow jar that you can see on the bottom left side. You can use that item to replenish your health whenever you're low. Okay, so let's say take some damage from the enemy, but you want to replenish that health back. Use that item, and you'll get some of the health back. But you only have 5 charges of that flask. After that 5 charges, you won't have any health unless you once again rest at the bonfire, right? The one in the below here. If you do that, that 5 charges will be replenished back to full. However, the enemies will also respawn. So you need to be careful of how you tackle those enemies and how you manage your health pool, right? You cannot be reckless in this game. You cannot play it like Devil May Cry or any other hack and slash games, right? You need to be mindful of your surrounding, mindful of the enemies, how they are attacking, see their attack patterns and so on, and move on from there. So this enemy here, I'll try to parry him to show you how the parry system works. Hopefully I'll be successful. And if I'm not successful, you can see my health pool will go down, and I'll use my Estus flask to heal myself. Okay, so let's see how this goes. So yeah, of course, first time I've already fumbled. Again I fumbled. Alright, come here. There you go. Alright. There. And there is the front stabbing. I'll just call it front stab. It's actually called riposte. So I just riposted this enemy here. So after the parry, you can see he was stunned for a bit, right? He wasn't able to do anything. So at that opportune moment, I was able to use the riposte and do a massive amount of damage to him. Okay, so that's how the parry system works. The way it works is that you have to be precise in your parries. You cannot do it too early or too late. Whenever you see like the enemy is about to connect his sword with your body, with your shield, only then you can use the parry at that precise time to make a successful parry. Otherwise it's not gonna work. Okay, so I'm gonna use the key that he gave me to unlock this door here. You can see on my left, the top left, some of my life has been depleted by his damage. I will use my Estus flask later. For now, I'm just gonna move on. And it says here that you can also wield your weapon two-handed to do more damage. So instead of doing one-handed, you can do two-handed hold, so do more damage. Just like that. You can do also strong attack. So we have 2 kinds of attack. That's the regular attack. This is the regular attack, and this is the strong attack. So this is the thrust attack. Strong attack does more damage, but also takes more stamina to do that. In certain cases, I'm gonna use strong attack, but for now, regular attack. This is the kick, and this is jump kick. So you can also kick in the game. So this is the kick. So where the kick comes in handy. So for example, the enemy here is holding a shield all the time. He's not letting go. If I use kick on that enemy and he's holding shield, by using the kick, he will be staggered because I'm kicking the shield. His shield will be flinched back, and he'll be staggered. Then I can do some damage to him. So I'll show that later on. And the other is a jump attack. So that is probably this one. Yeah. So use my forward attack, my strong attack, and my forward button, like the W, together. Oh shit! Fuck! Okay, scared me for a second. Oh, shit! Alright, come here. I'm gonna backstab you. Okay, never mind. There you go. No! I didn't. I wasn't managed to. I wasn't able to backstab him. Okay. Oh, god damn. Okay, anyway. Yeah, resting at Bonfire revives enemies. Yeah. Thanks. I know that already. Let's see if I can backstab you. Come on, backstab! Why is that backstab not working? What's going on? Alright, backstab? Backstab? Backstab! Let's go! That's how the backstab. It's a bit finicky. Sometimes it works. You have to be like very precise and move your character in a certain direction and a certain location just to initiate the backstab there. So okay. So if I walk beyond this fog door here, the boss fight will engage. Remember the boss fight in the first place? That fat guy, he dropped down from above. I'm gonna have to fight him. This red mist, this blood stain here that you're seeing here, this is the death of an actual enemy. Oh god, okay. Okay. Okay, that happened. Right. What happened there? Why am I in offline mode? Go online. Right, here we go. Thank you for that, Dark Souls. Hello. Your server's a bit wonky today. Anyway, this red mist here that you saw, by interacting with the red mist here, I'll be able to see the last moment of the player's death, how he died. I won't see the enemies of, the enemies that he was fighting, but I'll be able to see what he was doing, where he died, how he died, and all that. I'll get a better understanding and probably a warning that something's up here, the enemy's up here, something like that. So I need to be extra careful. So, so that's like a warning for me that someone died. So I need to be careful about that. So this is saying that if you go behind an enemy and backstab him, there's a critical attack. I have an enemy here with a shield. So let's see what I can do. Again, backstab is unsuccessful. Let's see. I'm gonna kick. So he's holding a shield. I'm gonna kick there. I'm gonna be trying to backstab him, maybe, if he allows me to. Come here, come here, come here. All right, enough with your strong attacks. Come here, come here. I want you to do the thing. Still not able to. There we go. 100 damage. Done. You're done. So I'm gonna. Yeah, sit. Yeah. Oh, that's one of the great things about Dark Souls is that you can. Enemies have ragdoll physics, right? So you can just play around with them after they die. So just like, yeah, like assert your dominance against them. Lol. Anyway, this door is blocked. I will be able to visit this place later, but for now it's locked. Okay. Anyway, the other message is here. It's the parry button, and this is the parry. And if you successfully parry someone, you can riposte them. So the one I showed you, that's the thing. Now I'm gonna be a bit safe and just gonna drink an Estus flask to heal myself back to full health. And let's see if the bloodstain works this time, right? Does it work? Do I see the enemy here? I'm not seeing the enemy here. Anyway, let's just go down. And that's one of the other things that says in this message. If you're at the high ground, right? It says here, left click while falling down is a plunging attack. So let's say I'm gonna be at the high ground here, and this enemy is gonna be below me. So when I drop down to his face, I'm gonna be using my left click, and it's gonna create an animation of plunging attack. So he's gonna plunge his shield downwards to his face, and that's gonna do a massive amount of damage. So let's see if I'm successful in doing that. Oh god. Hopefully it's gonna go well. Okay. Okay. There we go. That's a lot of damage done to him. Oh god, now I need to be careful. Nope. See, so I just dodged the attack instead of blocking it. And gonna get him. One hit. Again, dodged him some more. Some more. 2 damage, 2 hits. Oh, okay. Butt slam, do a butt slam. Alright. Ooh. Almost dead, almost dead. Almost dead. Ooh, okay. Alright, alright. And you're dead. Just like that. Very easy. Alright. See you later. So I got 2 items, the big pilgrim's key and humanity. So this humanity item is used to basically revert yourself to human. Okay, I'll talk about that mechanic a bit later. First of all, let me just get out of this place. Imminent fall. Yep. Let me just get out of this place because we are done here. This big pilgrim's key has been used to unlock this door so that I can get out of this room here, this big prison area here, to the next area. Should be exciting. Good job. Go straight ahead. Yay. Alright. More bloodstains. So let's see what happens here. So this guy here, as you can see, this guy here is trying to roll back, fighting some enemy, but he died, unfortunate. So you can see that something's gonna be popping up here down the line, which kills him, and you have to fight. If you cannot fight, you're gonna die. Alright, so there's an item here on my left side, and we're gonna use this item here later on. This item is called Lost Soul of a Lost Undead. So I can use this item to replenish some souls. Okay, so as you can see, I have like 2,328 soul. I gained some of that soul from killing the boss, right? So more enemies you kill, the more you get the souls, I mean. And the more tougher enemies you fight and manage to kill, the more soul you'll get, and the more you'll be leveling up, and things like that. There's a NPC on the right side here.
You, give me warm, give me soft.
So you can see this is a talking crow kind of NPC. So you can trade some items with her. There are some special items she will give you based on what item you drop. So if I drop a humanity, will I get anything? No. Yes. I forgot. I'll have to check my wiki to see what kind of items are, tradable with them. Anyway, we'll do that later because there are some special items that I can use down the line. Okay, but like this is gonna come in handy at some point in the game. Anyway, appreciating the view, the whole mountain range, right? Looks very beautiful. Yeah, and this was the prison that we were in. Looking at the right side, more of mountain tops, very beautiful. Very serene, but that's the end of this area for now. Let's move on to the next area, see where it goes.
Only in the ancient legends it is stated that one day an undead shall be chosen. To leave the undead asylum in pilgrimage to the land of the ancient lords. Lordran.
So, Lord of the moment, Lord of the Ring moment right there, being plucked by a crow, a giant crow, and being delivered into the land of Lordran itself. Here we basically are. Boom. Now the fun begins. Now the fun begins and the pain begins because you'll see what I mean. Lots of tough journey ahead of me. Anyway, um, let's see how long I've been running this game for. I might have to like call it quits for the night. Yeah, it's I've already spent an hour playing this game. So I will end this first gameplay walkthrough right here for now, and tomorrow I'll continue this game where I left off and show you some more of what this game has to offer. There's a lot of things that you need to like see and experience for yourself, especially the newcomers who haven't played or seen this game for the first time. You know, so I'm excited for that, and you're gonna see a lot of areas you can explore. I'm gonna be telling you that tomorrow. All right. So until then, I hope you enjoyed my first ever, gameplay series and commentary. Do let me know if I can improve on anything. Do let me know if I can, if you have any questions or anything else you want to add. So yeah, until next time, take care and bye for now.